Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to the nthezone daily ACD recap for Wednesday, June 1st, 2016. In these recap videos, I go over the best ACD setups that occurred on this day. These videos are intended to show you the types of trades the ACD method offers on a daily basis. Let's get into today. All right, guys, here's our plus day that I was talking about yesterday that I had a feeling that we could have today. Like I said, the plus and minus days, they tend to come back to back. I don't know why, but they tend to do that. Yesterday, for all intents and purposes, was a minus day. Like I said, we didn't close below the pivot range, so technically it wasn't a minus day, but it acted like a minus day for most of the day. Today is a plus day. Now, I'm coming to you a little bit early today because the market's not quite closed yet, but I've got to go tonight to a meeting, and so I have to get this done early. So today it looks like we're going to close. Right now we're up here 96 and a quarter right now as I'm talking. They're going to make a liar out of me, but if it closes above the pivot range, then we will mark that as a plus day, and then we will project forward 30 trading days into the future. We will look for this to happen again on that 30th trading day moving forward. Okay, today was also the first day of June, the first trading day of the month. And whenever you have that, Mark Fisher always used the first day of the trading month as an opening range for the month. And then you can calculate a pivot range off of today. Now, tomorrow's pivot range will be the monthly pivot range, okay? And then going forward throughout the month, you'll keep that pivot range to judge on how price is doing based upon that pivot range. Okay, so this morning we had a tight opening range again this morning, and then we had a number come out, and when the number came out at 10 o'clock, price started to push up. Now, it probably wasn't the best A to fade. However, I'm in the habit of fading them all, because usually the ones that you don't fade are the ones that work. Okay, so I've gotten away from picking and choosing, and I just try to do, fade every one of them. And then that I realize that my risk is small, and I'm going to show you that again today. And also today we had a narrow range pivot range, which pointed to volatility. And I think you can see that today we had basically you can call this a trend day. I don't know technically if it's a trend day. No, I know it's not. Technically, for like market profile, you have to go 3 times the IB in order to be a trend day. So technically this would not be a trend day. But when you look at this chart, it's 45-degree angle, from bottom to top. And that's a trend day in my book. Okay. So narrow range pivot range telling you we could be volatile today. Let's look at this A point. Okay, fading this A. Let me bring up a 1-minute chart here real quick. Okay, you can see here that we blew through the number. If you had your order sitting here at like 89.50, price went through it pretty quickly, and then spent 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this bar, the 5th minute, closed here. Now if you counted this bar, your close would be up here, but it depends on where you want to start counting from. This bar spends a lot of time below and then part of the time above. Again, this is subjective. You're going to have to come up with your own rules. If you want to say all the bars have to be completely above, then that's a rule that you'll have to come up with for yourself. So if you did that, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This bar closes at 89 and 75. So basically, this is a scratch trade. To fade this A, after it spends 5 minutes, you're out of here, and you're taking a 1 or 2 tick loss on however many contracts that you're trading. And at that point, you know that you're wrong to fade it. And now, so what's the next thing to do? Well, you got a confirmed A up, you go long. And you go long, and you're going to use the stop of a closing bar back into the opening range. Well, today, we've got a good bit of pullback after the A was confirmed, but it couldn't make it to the top of the opening range here, and then price pushed up. Excuse me a minute, guys. Still dealing with this cold. Okay, so price pushes up, finds a little bit of resistance here at this pivot range, does a pullback, and this offers another opportunity to buy or add, again basing your decision off of this confirmed A up, and also knowing that these bars got through the pivot range, and we couldn't get through on a closing basis. We didn't do that until here, but knowing that we're able to pierce through the pivot range and we've got an A up, this is a pretty good signal to get on board. And okay, there's the close right there, cash close. And so this would be a good place to enter along or add to your position. And of course, this was kind of a slow churn up all day, pullbacks and pushing up, pullback, push up. We came up here, if you remember back when I taught you about the afternoon opening range from 1:15 to 1:30 New York time. Take that 15-minute range and do a calculation of 3.5 points. This 98.50 up here was the afternoon A up, and it went to it, but it could not confirm it. Could not spend enough time here to confirm this. And of course, you're getting a little bit of a pullback from that. Also, it did a pullback here to 91.25, and I believe 90.50. I want to say mine was the A down, afternoon A down, okay, if you will. And so that was a good place to fade also in here, and this was a good trade up. All right, so like I said, I knew that I had just a gut feeling that we were going to have a plus day today because of yesterday's minus day, and they usually come in pairs back to back, and they're usually opposite of each other. And I don't know why that happens, but it's something that just happens. All right, guys. Well, I think that's about all for today. Like I said, I got to get out of here in a hurry, and look forward to tomorrow. And like I said, the pivot range that we come up with today from today's action will be the pivot range for the month of June. All right, guys, that's it, and we'll see you later.